Eric Fortes. I am the STEM Youth Development Program Coordinator with the Northern Virginia Science Center Foundation. If you logged into the session, you probably saw Children's Science Center Lab. I'll explain a little bit that, and it's a little bit confusing because we do operate as kind of two different entities, but we are one. Our mission here at the Northern Virginia Science Center is to inspire love of learning STEM by providing unique opportunities to explore and create. Our vision is to create a world-class interactive science center that ignites the curiosity in all of us. And then some of our values that we value every single day in our staff: community, fun, excellence, innovation, and leadership. So what do I mean? What do I mean when we have the Children's Science Center Lab and the Northern Virginia Science Center Foundation? Well, this was a $75 million campaign to build the Northern Virginia Science Center Foundation up in Dulles in partnership with the Science Museum of Virginia in Richmond. This new 70,000 square foot facility will have 5 themed galleries, and we are projecting for it to serve 300,000 people annually. When this facility opens, we will join the Commonwealth of Virginia Science Museums. So we will be a family of science museums, as we like to put it, and that will include ourselves, the Science Museum in Richmond, and the Danville Science Center. Some of the ways that our Science Center right now currently gets involved is through virtual engagements like our virtual field trips. We do virtual animal encounters. We do virtual sciences on the stage, which is basically like a science performance. We also do a lot of community involvement from STEM kits that we give out to different partnerships, and you can basically do science at home. And then we also offer a lot of in-lab and in-school opportunities. Our lab is located at the Fair Oaks Mall. It's a 3,000 square foot facility where guests can come and have a lot of interactive experiences. We also host field trips there. You can rent it out for your birthday party. So a lot of different opportunities. And then for in-school, we can bring our science on stage to in-school. We have a really good program called our STEM Enrichment Series, where we work with 5th grade classes and basically have 6 different topics, and we continue this growing pattern over the course of a school year so that they get this amazing STEM-like opportunities with them. So a little bit about our program that we are offering. It's called the Commonwealth Cyber Initiative, the Northern Virginia Regional Node, or CCI as we like to put it. So this is actually a partnership with George Mason University, and our goal is to expand the cybersecurity pipeline by reaching students in high school, which is y'all, to explore the possibility of a career in cyber industries. So what exactly does this mean, and what are we offering? Well, let me get to that. So we are offering a 7-week internship. 2 of these weeks is professional skills training, followed by 5 weeks in a cyber field internship. And then after your 7 weeks, there is some ongoing stuff. And basically what it is we will continue to be in contact with you. We will send you different professional development opportunities, videos, kind of just to keep you entertained and make sure that you are basically keeping up with some of the material that you learned during your internship. So our 2-week professional skills boot camp, what do you kind of learn here? So some of the things that we'll go through in this boot camp is we'll teach you about thoughtful questioning, understanding what type of questions to ask. We always like to say there are no wrong questions, but how do you word it correctly? You'll be able to engage in various teamwork and collaboration opportunities through the development of 2 mini research projects that you will do each week. You'll be able to develop your communication skills, your presentation skills, and your initiative. Additionally, during our professional skills boot camp, we will have various speakers come in and teach you about some skills, including resume, cover letter, and LinkedIn building. We will have our marketing director who will teach you about elevator pitches and how to construct them. We will have a session on project management and time management. We will also bring in some outside specialists. So we will work with George Mason on obtaining some speakers who have, who have the skills in cybersecurity. One of our presentations that we did last year was the cyber threats and the impact on society. So we will try to get some more speakers who have more of an interest in cybersecurity so that you can get all those skills, to be successful during your 5 weeks. Some of the cyber fields that you will actually be exploring with the different businesses include, but are not limited to, cybersecurity, data analysis, information technology, network security, programming, and testing. As of right now, these are some of the 2022 cyber companies that we are working with. So we do have Cambridge Solutions, Obscurity Labs, Osseous Networks, Single Point Global, Fidelity. We also do have Mantech. Our goal is to have 15 companies, and as of right now, I believe we are at 11 secured companies. So there will be various different opportunities for you to engage with these companies. Which company you get involved in is going to vary by some of the company needs and what your interests are, but we are going to do our best to make sure that your interests and the company's interests are aligned so that we find that perfect match for you. So some of the benefits to you, you'll be able to learn about workforce responsibilities and expectations. You're going to become a productive member of a professional team, not only with us at the Northern Virginia Science Center Foundation, but also with the organization that you get paired with. You'll be able to apply your academic knowledge. So if you have been in some coding classes, this is a great opportunity for you to test out your coding knowledge during this internship. You'll be able to explore the various different cyber fields. A lot of people don't realize that when we talk about cybersecurity, there is so much that you can do. This is really a growing field and such a vast and expansive field that there are so many little niches. And so you'll be able to explore those different areas. And most importantly, you will receive a stipend for $2,000 from the CCI. So it is a paid internship, which is a really great opportunity for everyone. Requirements. Pretty easy here. You just have to like the cyber field. If you have an interest, I recommend that you apply. Have some extracurricular activities on your background. We are looking for candidates who are involved in their school, the community, and then you do have to be available from June 20th through August 5th. And then we just want someone who is flexible, enthusiastic. Someone who is committed to the program is going to have and be more successful in the program. If you don't want to be there, that negative energy does reflect on your other candidates. So, make sure that this is something that you really want before you do apply. And then our process. So this is kind of a quick timeline. Applications are due by February 15th at 5 p.m. And when I say 5 p.m., I do mean 5 p.m. The application will close and you will not be able to apply. To apply, you just need an application, a resume, and a cover letter, and also a recommendation letter. The reason for the recommendation letter is we want to hear a little bit more about you. Sometimes an application doesn't say everything about our candidates. This recommendation letter can come from anyone. It can be a teacher, it can be a professional colleague, it can be a family friend. Be creative. After that, we'll have our interviews and selections. There'll be a quick one-day orientation in mid-June. It might be virtual depending on what we decide. And then from there, there'll be the 2 weeks professional skills and then the 5 weeks with the cyber business that you get paired with. Applying is easy. All you have to do is go to our website, childside.org. And if there is a Get Involved tab, if you go under Volunteer and then scroll to the very bottom, you'll see our internship opportunities. I have attached the direct link in this presentation. I'm not actually quite sure if you will get the presentation, a copy of it, but if you do, you can also go to that direct link and that will take you to the website. And then at the bottom is our email. If you have any questions, any concerns, do not hesitate to email me. I love responding. I think if you show an interest, it actually makes me excited for reviewing these applications. But you can just always email internships@childside.org. There is several people on that email, so you will always get a response to that email. And besides that, that's pretty all I have. I kind of wanted to leave a lot of time to answer your questions if you did have them. And so I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing. Oh. Okay. All right, let's see. How many hours per day is the internship? So for the 2-week professional skills boot camp, it is Monday through Friday, and as per hours per day, we haven't officially decided, but we are most likely looking at a 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. or a 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. for the 2 weeks. For the 5 weeks during your cyber business, most organizations will require 40 hours a week. So, what that 40 hours looks like is going to vary by each business because each business can set their own schedule. Some businesses will choose a more typical 9 to 5 schedule, some will do an 8 to 4. And as if it's virtual, our 2-week professional development bootcamp will be virtual. The 5 weeks with your cyber business, that will depend on each individual businesses. Some business may choose to do virtual, some may choose to do a hybrid setup, and some may choose to be in person. Um, we do have some that have requested virtual and some that requested in person. However, I can't guarantee that you will be set up with someone who is virtual or someone who is in person. Let's see, what was the other question that I saw? How is the acceptance rate through this internship? Is it very selective? So we are looking for 30 candidates for this internship. It's really going to, it is very, because this is such a good opportunity. You know, we had a lot of applicants last year for our summer 2021 internship. So it is pretty selective, yes. I will say we probably will get over 100 applicants, if not more, for this internship, and we have to narrow it down to 30. So I always say make sure you get your application in before the deadline, because if it's not in by the deadline, it will be considered incomplete and we will not accept it. Recommendation letter. Yep, recommendation letter you can get from a teacher, or if you have a family, friend, colleague, if you've done volunteer work for an organization, it can come from there. I just recently had another internship. Some students were creative. I had one get them from, they did some babysitting and they got it from the parents that hired them to do the babysitting. So it can be something as simple like that. It doesn't have to be super in depth. It can be a 1 to 2 paragraph recommendation. We just want to know a little bit about you. Is there any skills that this internship requires? There are no skills that this requires. The only thing that you have to be is interested in cybersecurity. Because this internship is tailored towards that, you might learn a little bit of coding along the way once you're in the business. All of these businesses that we are partnered with, they understand that you are high school students. They understand that you may not have a lot of background in this area, and that's why we've created this organization so that we can get your foot in the door. And if you think that this is something that you're going to do, in college, or even if you have a slight interest, I recommend that you apply. No coding is necessary. A lot of them are going to teach you those skills once you enter during the 5 weeks. Are these the only, tech-related programs offering at this time, or are there any other computer science-oriented programs offered? So right now, this is the only internship that we do offer that is kind of related to tech. In our lab, we occasionally do have some volunteer opportunities that you may be able to join, but as of right now, this is the most tech-forward opportunity that we do have. If you are interested in other opportunities, always check our website. That's the best place where you'll find other opportunities. Do you require a resume to be submitted when applying? Yes. So when you go to the application, you will not be able to submit an application without uploading a resume and cover letter. Those have to be uploaded at the time of applying. The recommendation letter does not. There are some schools where you will not be able to physically get a copy. There are instructions for your teacher to just have it emailed to internships@childside with your name and the name of the internship, which would just be CCI. What is the minimum age for the application? Is it possible for an exception if needed? So there is no actual minimum age for this application. The requirements are that you have to be a rising senior or a rising college first year. So basically that means you currently have to be a junior or senior in high school. If you are not a junior or senior, then you won't be able to apply. The recommendation letter does not need to be someone in the STEM field. The recommendation is just so we can get to know a little bit more about your personality and your character, not necessarily your STEM background. The internship is not for 10th graders. No, it will be for 11th and 12th juniors and seniors. How does the selection work for after the boot camp? So for after the boot camp, when you get your if you were to get selected for the internship program, in your letter, you would actually find out which organization you are paired with. We do the pairing on our end just because some organizations have some strict requirements. Some of them will require, there are one or two that require like just an understanding of some coding knowledge. So if you have that, great. And we're going to do our best to pair those students. There are some organizations, for example, that require you to be US citizens. So with those organizations, we have to make sure that applicants are US citizens, so we have to do the pairing. All of the organizations will be paired beforehand. So you will know going into the internship which organization we have selected for you. What is a cover letter? So a cover letter is just a quick 1-2 paragraph letter telling us a little bit about yourself and why you would be a great candidate for our internship. Let's see, where can we apply? And just as a reminder, you can apply online at childside.org. If you go to our volunteers tab and scroll to the bottom, that's where you will find our internship opportunities. There is a quick link. And as always, if you have any questions, you can always shoot me an email. Okay. Can I unmute you? I don't know if...
Student, you could go ahead and unmute and ask your question.
I was wondering what a typical day as an intern would be like during the first 2 weeks and then later in the 5-week period.
Yeah, of course. So during the first 2 weeks, each week, we'll log in, we'll do a quick check-in, and then from there, we'll have a typical day. For example, we'll start off with a presentation from one of our guest speakers. This guest speaker will, for example, have some sort of professional skills training for you. Let's say that day it's our marketing director. She's going to walk you through how to develop a elevator pitch. And then from there, there will be a lunch break. We'll probably have 2 to 3 speakers. So each one will present some sort of different topic. And then each week you will actually develop a mini project. So the first week, you will actually have to develop a mini project with a group of 4. And the project is to teach something about cybersecurity. It can be absolutely anything to elementary kids. And so that is a teamwork project. And there will be about 2 hours each day for you to work as a team to develop this project. Some of our speakers will have presentations that focus more on cybersecurity. So we will actually get cybersecurity professionals who currently work with certain businesses, and they will come in and talk about either what they do or cybersecurity in the modern world, how it's going on with current events and stuff like that. And that's pretty much how each day is going to go. And then during the 5 weeks, that's a little bit more complicated to say. Those 5 weeks are actually up to the discretion of each business. So each business may do things differently. My guess, though, is that if you are, for example, working in person with a business, you will be physically there. For example, if you're working with an IT professional, you will be shadowing that IT professional, seeing kind of what their day-to-day looks like and go from there. So it's a little bit harder for me to speak on the 5 days, but once you are in during our boot camp, we'll have a little bit more understanding of what your 5 days what your 5 weeks will look like on a day-to-day. I hope that answers your question a bit.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Tristan, you can go ahead and.
Some of us applied for the summer residential governor school program, and we have not received results back from that. Could we submit an application, and then what is the procedure for if we get accepted to that at the same time as this? Can we postpone your internship to the following summer, or is it just a reapply for next year?
Yeah, so I definitely recommend you apply. If for some reason you cannot attend, that's perfectly fine. We won't be able to postpone it till next year, and you will have to reapply. However, because you were accepted, we would take that into account when reviewing applications for the following year. If you do get accepted, there is no commitment. You will have a week to let us know whether or not you are accepting the application. I will say applications, we will let our interns know if they get accepted or not on May 1st. I believe that's that Monday, if I'm not mistaken, or it might be May 3rd. And then you'll have till that Friday to let us know. So you'll have a week to let us know. So if for some reason, you do get this other internship and you can't do hours, we won't postpone it, but we will take that into consideration for the following year. So probably give you some bonus points there.
Thank you.
All right. If no one has any other questions, I just want to thank everyone for coming. And if you do have any questions afterwards, feel free to email me. Surya, sorry if I said that wrong. Go ahead.
I had a question. Is the internship virtual?
So our 2-week professional boot camp is virtual. The 5 weeks with the cyber business, that's going to depend on each individual business. There are some internships that are virtual. Some businesses do a hybrid model, but there are some businesses that require to be in person.
So when do we know which business
When
we are assigned to if we were to get accepted?
when we send out the acceptance letter saying that you've been into the business, it will tell you which business you were assigned to and also let you know if the business is going to be virtual, in person, or hybrid, and what their time commitment is as well.
Okay, thank you.
Of course. And I saw one question come in, so I'll answer it really quickly. Those in 10th grade or below. Right now in 10th grade or below, we don't really have any specific opportunities. If you are one of, I like to put in older 10th graders based off your birthday, occasionally we do have our STEM Youth Development Internship that's for 16 and up. That one is actually more age, not based on grade. And those happen in spring, and then there'll be another one in summer, and then another one in fall. So be on the lookout for that. And if we do have more that are internships available open to 10th graders, they're going to be posted on our website. So always make sure to check there. Yes, Praneeth.
Yeah, so you were just saying there might be some internships for like younger people. How would we be notified of those internships opening?
So we do our best to send them to our different points of contacts at each individual county. So we do have a contact at Loudoun County that we send them to, and I believe it goes through school counselors. The best way, I honestly say though, is check our website at the beginning of each month, or also join our newsletter. Or we post all of our internships on our newsletter, or follow us on social media on either Facebook or Instagram, because we will make posts whenever we launch a new application there as well.
Thank you.
All right, we are a few minutes over this afternoon. Students, thank you so much for joining us. The next session begins at 4:50. Huge kudos to our presenter. Eric, thank you so much for joining this afternoon. We greatly appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me, and good luck, everyone. And I look forward to your applications.